There is a small forbidden island with a dark and twisted past, less than half a mile from Venice. A quarantine station, a graveyard dump for plague victims, and more recently a mental hospital for aged indigents. Poveglia was constructed on a permanent fortification built by the Venetian government, and from the 18th century on it was used as a plague quarantine station, or as Italians say, Lazaretto, one of many in the Venetian lagoon. Plague and disease were huge problems in the medieval world, especially in trading centers like Venice, and even though there wasn't a deep knowledge of how infections worked, they knew that isolating sick travelers was an effective way to prevent or lessen the severity of outbreaks. Venice coined the term quarantine, which derived from the duration travelers were required to stay at the Lazaretto before they could continue their way. 40 days, 40 giorni. The island have hosted over 160,000 infected souls living out their final days. So many that it is said that 50% of the soil consists of human remains. Mass graves have been found on the nearby islands of Lazaretto Nuovo and Lazaretto Vecchio, containing the remains of thousands of plague victims. In the darkest periods of the epidemics, the islands were quickly overrun with the dead, who were hastily shoveled into grave pits. The condition of the people was pitiable to behold. They sickened by the thousands daily, and died unattended and without help. Many died in the open street, others dying in their houses, made it known by the stench of their rotting bodies. Churchyards did not suffice for the burial of the vast multitude of bodies, which were heaped by the hundreds in vast trenches, like goods in sheep holds, and covered with little earth. Napoleon also used the island to store weapons, thinking no one would search on a place so small. The location was discovered, and many small battles took place, taking even more lives. In 1922, a mental hospital was opened on Poveglia. Local legend says that one mad doctor at the hospital tortured and killed many of his patients, butchering them direly only to later die by falling from his bell tower. The hospital closed in 1968, and the ruins are abandoned ever since, slowly being eaten by its surroundings. The island has served many unpleasant purposes over the years, and it is believed to be hosting paranormal activity. It is now strictly off limits to visitors, which intensifies the interest in its dark past.
Job's done.